Welcome to Redbrook Farm, redbrookhoney.com, Scarborough, Maine, July 6, 2009. Out here in the bee yard, it's about 6 o'clock. Just coming down to do a little work. I'll tell you what we were doing in a moment. What you have over here is two 5-frame nukes together side by side in one deep. They were put in, I checked yesterday. I have two queens that are doing well. They're just getting started. Their goal here is not to raise these into colonies this season, but to have them be good, strong 5-frame nukes. We're going to overwinter those on top of a couple of the other colonies. What we have here, interesting little contraption. This is nuke number 1. This was created in May, about third week of May. Now it's the first week of July. On stand number 3 is the successful nuke. This one was building up well. I put it on 10 frames. It's a 5-frame nuke now. Put it on 10 frames, and then they had a queen problem of some kind. No queen found, no supersedure, no eggs. So I had some cat brood. So what I've just done now is underneath this piece on top. This is an upside down nuke box, and underneath is a 1-quart jar. And what I'm doing is I'm feeding this colony sugar water, 1-to-1 sugar water. And I've just tonight given it a frame with eggs, milk brood, and cat brood, and covering bees. And I want them to raise another queen on this one here. I've totally closed down the entrance, because what you have here, yesterday I put a quart of 1-to-1 on here. It was about 3 frames of bees. Totally gone, the quart, and no nectar, nothing stored in the cells inside. So that tells me that it was robbed out by all of the neighbors. And what you see here are unladen foraging worker bees from other colonies. And so I've totally closed the entrance down to this colony. They're getting plenty of fresh air inside, but there is no entrance for the foraging force from the other colonies to get in. I'm going to have to keep that closed down a bit until the nurse bees inside can take care of their business and build this up. That's what happens. We've just come off a very rainy June, and with a very rainy month, what you end up with is some bees that are doing a little foraging for sources that maybe might not be growing naturally out there. So this is colony number 2, and she's got 1 super on with a queen excluder. Colony number 3 was an interesting project. On number 4, I had a cutout from a Socko house, and in the next day all the bees disappeared. And one day this colony here is 10 frames of bees, just barely 10 frames of bees. I check it a week later, and guess what? I found the other 10 frames of bees that left this colony over here. They moved in right next door. They must have lost their queen in the process of vacuuming them out of the house. So what I ended up with here, I started with a nuke, but I end up with an extraordinarily strong. I have 20 frames of bees, so much so, and heavy. These boxes are heavy with nectar and honey. So I added a super on top. And so this took the entrance totally open. What you have here on the landing board, interesting. We have a worker bee, and what she is doing was discarding some chilled brood. And right now she's just taking a taste of it a little bit to get some protein. And then this one went out the front door on undertaker duty. And so what you see here are the worker bees coming and going. It's about 6 o'clock. There's another 2 hours of forage today, and so they'll be working hard for the rest of the day. What you have down here as we go, you have a 20 frames of bees with 1 super on it. Then what we have is 20 frames of bees with 2 supers. Doing very well here. This is a sad story. Here, this is a cutout from Gorham. Cutouts are tough, and what we're down to is just a few frames of bees, no queen, and so I'm letting this one die down. We're going to take the bees from here and merge them into another colony. I'm still waiting to get some locally raised queens, and this one's going to be too late for this colony here. And then finally, 2 good strong colonies on the end down here. This one is working this first super. This one over here has 3 supers on it, but they're really only working the first 2 pretty well. The 3 weeks of rain here in Maine in 2009 in the month of June really hurt. So there's an update from Red Brook Farm in Scarborough, Maine, and we'll close here with a get out of the shadow, but activity at the front door of our strongest colony here. It's late in the afternoon, so the foraging force is coming back. I'm looking for a little pollen on their legs. Love to see some pollen. Saw some yesterday, and that's a good sign. Pollen's a tough find with all the rain that we've had, but the girls are working, and by girls I mean that literally. These are all female worker bees returning from forage out on the farm area here. Red Brook Farm in Scarborough, Maine.